And I am Anna, and welcome to today's message, Choosing Your Journey. Today we're going to talk about the spiritual realm. Today's message from Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms. Now I'm about to tell you a little love story with a twist. And well, if you don't like love stories, the supernatural, God, or magnificent outcomes, well, look away now. I'll be sharing some biblical verses with you because this subject might be a little difficult for some. And the verses, well, they will back up my testimony. Now, I've been discussing my spiritual journey for months, right from the beginning to the current time. And though some might be a little bewildered about why I've been doing this, it's for two reasons. I want people to see where I have been and have gone and where this will end up. It is a record of what I will not remember from past portions of my journey. Now, the Bible tells us that we are part of a multidimensional reality, and there's a place where the physical realm in which we live in and the spiritual realm collide. It's an awareness, and we are given that awareness when we are awakened to more than what our human eyes can see. This is beyond our physical world, and it includes demons and spiritual battles. It has angels that reside in this place, and the world is invisible to us, this realm, unless it's presented to us as part of our journey. And every one of us has something unique to us given by God and woven into our being. And sometimes that is to understand the spiritual world better. This is my journey. And as my eyes have been opened, I don't really see things as others do. It is impossible for me to see all this without being childlike, with wonderment and choosing to see it. It's kind of like explaining the color red to someone who's blind. To do it, you have to let go of all the things that have hurt you and find unconditional love within. And it's about letting go and giving and forgiving yourself. Letting go of regret and sorrow and anger and frustration and all the things that have allowed you to function as less than you are intended to be. It is about freeing yourself from the bondage of the forces of evil in heavenly realms. And the more that you do it, the more whole you become. By letting go of sorrow, grief, regrets, and forgiving yourself and moving closer to filling in the puzzle of life. Now, it causes great sorrow and great joy and some anguish to be chosen this way. It's a little hard to explain, but once it happens to you, there is no looking back, and it becomes impossible to see things in any other way. It's like being part of a gigantic puzzle, and if something is missing, then the puzzle just would not be complete. It would be impossible to finish. So we go through a series of things in our life to complete our perfect puzzle. And everyone sees the puzzle differently because it is based on your own personal journey. Your job in completing the journey is based on the many things, but mostly on the choices that you make as an individual. God provides you with choices or tests of faith, trials and tribulations that we have to overcome to reach our highest selves. You see, when you pray, what you're doing is asking God for something. You're asking Him to help you with things that you've already been given, because we are already equipped when we are born with all that we need. And if you can't see that, it means that you have not been open enough to receive an answer. And by praying, you are seeking to understand more. And if you believe in faith that this help is already available to you, then you will seek it and you will find it. But you have to believe in faith for it to work. Receiving the answer is simply the result of what you perceive as being available to you. John 16:13 says, "But when He, the Spirit of truth, comes, He will guide you into all truth. He will not speak on His own. He will speak only what He hears, and He will tell you what is yet to come." This verse explains that we are to trust God and that He will light our path through intuition based on our faith. So if we give in our heart, God will provide the clarity. Now, your human behavior is such that you do know what you know to be true. So when you say, for instance, choosing a drink of water, you get one because you know that water is there for you to drink. It's voluntary. And if you believe it, then you know you can do it. You know you can get a glass of water. So when you decide that that same belief is true in faith, then you behave in the way that makes it occur. And if you believe in faith based on what I have shared so far and in the verse, then you can allow yourself to internalize and behave that way. It's a combination of using your highest mind and your physical mind together. And these then become an experience. So that means that you can control the outcome based on your own belief, which transforms into action based on your faith, regardless of the human reality. You create the meaning in your own life. And it is the Bible that is telling you to put this into the universe by saying that you reap what you sow. Now, I would like to share something with you. It's personal, but I think it will get the story across. Let me use my own example. It is known by now that I had a terrible breakup before in my life, and this person made me feel unloved. And honestly, within 4 months of ending the relationship, he said he was getting married to someone else. I'm not going to go into the details. It's not necessary. But I'm sharing this detail because I want you to feel the emotion and understand how you might feel if this were you. Now, I really thought that he was the one, that I might marry him, and it was incredibly painful. But the point is this. The simple fact that I was able to believe that I wasn't loved, ending up being proof that I am through intuition, faith, and clarity, is how that relationship went. I knew that he was leaving the relationship long before it ended. And I'd been praying about it, and I felt something big was coming. And I've been able to do this most of my life. And my first experience with it was when I was about 8 years old. And I've spoken on that before. Others have witnessed me doing this and have simply understood it just by being around me. And it's important to know that my love for this man was very deep, and I had waited a number of years after the death of someone else that I love who committed suicide. And I fell right in with this guy. And now I'm unsure why all that occurred, but I simply blurted out one day, if your throat doesn't burn at the thought of hurting me, I'm not your person. And if the thought of telling me a lie doesn't make your skin crawl, then I'm not your person. And if the thought of spending your entire life waking up next to me doesn't bring you incredible joy, then you are not my person. Now, I found out later in the journey that this was my intuition speaking, my spirit within. It told me ahead of time that this just was not right, that something was wrong, and that I was giving my unconditional love to a man who wasn't open to it. And I remember sitting alone after he left thinking, what just happened to me? I really thought that I was going crazy. Now, Romans 13:11 will say, besides this, you know the time that the hour has come for you to wake from your sleep, for salvation is nearer than when you first believed. I now understand that God was sending me on a journey to save my own life and bring life and healing to others. This man, he was a test of my faith, not a partner at all. And I could continue to choose that unhealed man, believing that I was unsupported and not loved and allowed my love to fall on a cold heart. Or I could decide that I was worthy and know how loved I was. Instead of feeling worthless and abandoned, I allowed my faith to tell me that I was worthy. My intuition and higher self blurted it out for me, and I went on a journey that has been nothing but self-fulfillment and unconditional love of Christ. Now, you know based on your own circumstance and in your heart that the right way to stop making the same choices and stop being sick and tired of being used and sick and tired is when you finally give up and you give it to God. And once you decide to do it, to stop being tired and being less than your true authentic self, your journey will begin. It is about having a deeper understanding of yourself and in your faith. Now, I'm going to conclude with this. 1 Peter 1, 6-7. In all of this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer in grief in all kinds of trial. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's been many months for all of this to occur. And that test once was for courage and strength in the face of evil versus good in my life. And when it occurs in your life, you will get to choose. And this is what the human experience is all about. It's about recognizing the importance of your spiritual need to be closer to God and asking God to allow you to live a life that glorifies Him and allows us to find our true love, which is God Himself living within us and brought to us by means of the Holy Spirit. It is a story of transformation in the face of evil realms who use humans for their own gain. When Ephesians says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the powers of the dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms," that is not just something written in the Bible for us to read or to hear in church. It is a fact. Every day we fight forces we cannot see. They use us for evil works on both the personal and cosmic level. They manifest to us through individual actions, societal systems, disobedience, and rebellion against God. They bring sin and death to the world, and humanity struggles for it. And it doesn't matter who you are. Now, we are all chosen for a specific purpose. And we are all prey to evil influences. But when you choose the lesser path, you can and will succumb to this. And it's necessary to make the right choices, to lean and learn from the true love for yourself and God within, because that is what sets you free. Now, the key to this is to be able to discern it and find through your faith the missing puzzle pieces and forgiveness and restoration through Jesus Christ before it's time to meet God face to face. My friends, this journey here on earth is meant for you, to find your true and unconditional love for yourself and in God. And as it says in 1 Corinthians 13:13, so now faith, hope, and love abide. These three, but the greatest of these is love. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be love. Love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for keeping my messages alive. I'll see you tomorrow.